What's up, everybody? It's me, Johnny G, and today we are back with another Arknights event. And as usual, I'm recording this at the last minute, so we've only got a couple days left in it. However, today's episode is part one of the, let's make sure I say this hopefully correctly, and if I don't, I do apologize, the Hortus de Escapismo event. Now, I've been saying it as escapismo, like escape, but I don't know. I've heard it said as escapismo, and it kind of sounds a little better that way. So I'm going to go with that for it. But we're going to start off. There's only, I believe, 8 main stages to this event in particular. And I think there's your prologue, epilogue, and your like middle story bit kind of later on, something to that effect. But this is an event rerun. This isn't a first time. This is a Laterano-based event, so it's something interesting. And Executor is, of course, the lead in this one. So I'm anxious to get started on it because I actually missed this event on my main account the first time around. When it came through, I didn't play it. I just, for some reason, just didn't register with me and whatnot. But either way, I'm excited. I'm finally going to learn that story. And we're going to do it right here with you guys. So, with that being said, let's jump right in. All right. I'm anxious to do this because not only do I want to do the story, but I need to get in here and I need to get this electronic unit so I can get Wishadel etude. But let's go ahead and do our story 1. They say Laterano is paradise. A land of freedom, happiness, and order. One of the few left in this chaotic world. Have you ever known doubt, my child? How was our city built? How did it grow? And how did it prosper? Why is there only one Laterano? Why is it called the eternal paradise? If the fires of war burn once more, and peace falls into ruin before our eyes, will the world continue to tolerate paradise? Danger. Repeat. Danger. This is their, like, computer thing. I remember that from the very end of Zwillingstar. Danger level. Analyzing. Maximum. Deploying simulation sequence. Simulation failed. Activating emergency response mechanism. Outputting suitable personnel list. Come on. It's like slow there for some reason. Weird. They're here, Your Holiness. Very well. Are you sure about this? There's no precedent for it, aside from the canonization of the popes. It's risky. You are correct. I could find no such record in our millennium of history. But that is of no concern. What is of concern is the warning I received. What is it about, specifically? I would answer your question honestly, if I could. Our growing faith has warned us that danger is near, but no one knows what it is or how it will arrive. I only see a list of names. First on the list is the main character of today's performance. That's why you proposed canonizing him. Still, the title of saint is special, reserved for the holy ones who built Laterano. I hold the same title. That's different. You're the Pope, sir. You're conceding a significant amount of power. He will have the right to participate in a multitude of matters, even policy-making. This is no small thing. Easy, Giovanni. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And, as I said, there's more than one name on the list. What? Are you proposing that all of them be canonized? That's absurd. I mean, against the rules. Don't be so quick to judge, Giovanni. We need to find them first. I saw some familiar names. Do you know who's on it? No idea. In that case, I'll let it remain a secret for a little longer. Giovanni. I think I'll visit these friends after the ceremony. Why are there so many balloons? Boy, she's pretty. I like that. There's even a pie throwing competition on that street up ahead. I had to take a detour because of all the pies on the ground. Is there some sort of festival on? No idea. Heard it's a ceremony or something, but I don't know the specifics. Who cares at the end of the day? Let's just enjoy the occasion like we always do. Say, do you think I could fly if I tied myself to these balloons? You don't have a prayer, even if you lost 20 pounds. Don't say that. Maybe I could take off my jacket. It's a pretty warm day. Hey, look, new balloons. Here, hold my jacket. I've got to try this. Hey, be careful. Whoa, I'm flying. Hey, how do I stop climbing? Oh no, I forgot. I'm scared of heights. Pardon? Hey, don't go. Help. Help, let me down. All right. He just shoots the balloons. Ouch! Man, that hurt, but thanks. My balloons. You popped them all. Did you really have to be so cruel? It was the logical solution, given the circumstances. I guess, but couldn't you have left me a couple? Hey, he got you down, so stop whining. Don't mind this idiot, sir. Where did you get that outfit? It looks cool. I can't say. What do you mean? Was it a gift? Looks like a work uniform. There's something familiar about it. Where do you get a uniform like that? I'm applying. I'm not sure it's a standard uniform. You could submit your curriculum vitae to the Curia. They led the Sankta. They built a city and named it Laterano. And when disaster looms, once more, a new revelation shall dawn upon the Sankta, and a new guide shall lead forth. The paradise of the Sankta shall remain eternal, as witnessed by the world. We bear witness. We bear witness. We bear witness. Ite missa est. You can raise your head now, my child. No, a different name is appropriate here. Raise your head and stand by my side, Saint Federico Giallo, the first chosen of Laterano, who does not come from the ranks of the popes. A measured reaction. Not a fan of the balloons. I don't understand. What is the duty of a saint? What is the disaster that looms? Does it call for immediate action? I need to know the details in order to formulate a plan. An appropriate question, but not one I am able to answer. The warning I received was as cryptic as it was direct. It does not provide for a specific answer. Each era has its own trials and tribulations, for which we can only prepare to the best of our ability. It is certain, however, that you have been chosen because it believes that you have the ability to respond to the unknown. I don't understand. There is no hurry. We have time. Right now, there are other things we can talk about. This garb suits you, Federico. Makes all the cardinals bickering over the cut and color worthwhile. I didn't think that was a cardinal's duty. Let's not be so strict. People can't help but focus on that which draws their interest. I've seen your resume, Federico. I can tell that you are an outstanding executor. The commandments do not bind your thoughts as they do others, eh? Rules can be broken if necessary. Of course, I can't bring myself to disagree. You judge matters by your own standards. That is why you always carry out your missions effectively, if somewhat unorthodoxly. I have a mission for you. I have intended on going myself, but there are other matters that require my attention. Now, I've found someone who can go in my stead. It will not be an easy task. Expect unexpected complications, the likes of which you have never seen. But I believe you are up to it. I want to see why he chose you. Will you go, Federico? Executor Federico, ready for assignment. What is your command? His robotic speech. What are you looking at, Arturia?
The flowers, Excellency. This is the only place in the monastery where they grow. I'm glad I made it in time for bloom season. It's a view worth savoring.
Clement would be happy to hear it. Okay. It has been a long time since anyone came to see the flowers that he cared for. They used to grow all around the abbey. This is all that is left.
A shame. I understand there's a beautiful story behind them.
There was.
What about now?
Perhaps there still is, but my eyes have grown weak. Flowers are no longer pure enjoyment for me. I've grown too old, spent too much time here. Flowers cannot fill an empty stomach, just as your music can soothe pain but not avert aging. I know things don't always go according to plan. Perhaps this was inevitable, the moment our call for help reached Laterano. Now, only the bitter fruit remains.
Bitter fruit. Even the name itself leaves a bitterness on the tip of the tongue that does not go away. I rather like it, actually. Poor soil does not bear sweet fruit.
Poor soil. Yes, poor soil. But it's home for people like us. I thought we would find a better, more peaceful life. We had walls that protected us from wind and rain. We had faith unwavering. Our longing for a peaceful life won out over longing for a home. All that was left was to find a quiet corner of the world where we could live in peace. But now... The old man's emaciated face twitches slightly. It is as though he is mustering the strength to tear apart that which threatens to crush him beneath his loose skin. His words are replaced by a string of coughs and gasps. How many years has it been? 50, 60, more. When disaster came from the sea, when we rejected the Inquisition's demands and left Iberia to settle here, I've seen children born and then buried those same children. Life has become hard.
Life is always hard.
Yes, you're right. Look at the living. To where do they belong? I can't tell. Are they of Iberia or of Laterano? We've come too far in too long. Arturia, am I still a Lateran after all these years?
Only you know the answer, Abbot Stefano Torregrossa.
I hope I still am.
Then you are.
You spoke the truth, Arturia. There's no need to test me anymore.
A misunderstanding. I never intended to probe your secrets.
I permitted you to stay because these doors are open to all who bear no ill intentions. But I still don't know what you are seeking, Arturia.
What if I said I seek nothing? I take it you don't believe it. Then let me put it this way. Pay no heed to me. I promise I will not interfere with anything here, nor with your decisions. I'm simply a traveler, drawn to this place by the stories here, praying that the ending is a good one. Should I swear in the name of my halo?
You're a cunning one, Arturia, but I believe your words. The old man falls silent again. Do all who grow old grow dry and stiff? The lines on his face, once so beloved, now cast only lethargy. The eyes have become clouded by the decades that they have seen. The face should have been warmer, gentler, more Lateran. The holy city never answered, all these years, but I never stopped praying. My faith taught me to love, to be kind. It did not teach me. It did not teach me to abandon our brothers and sisters, our loyal friends. It's been a long night. I'm actually recording this on, it's 3:41 a.m. New Year's Day, Eastern Time right now. So I'm a little bit tired now that I've settled down, but still, I've got that mood to do something and record, and I don't feel like going to bed yet. So I'm doing this. So pardon me if I yawn a little bit like that. Plus, doing his voice is kind of triggering that for some reason. Anyways, to abandon the few for the happiness of the many.
The devoted would call it a shameful betrayal. Do you?
I don't have that answer, Arturia. Where does the believer go if faith has betrayed itself. Here's the stuff. Get it salted and dried quickly. It should last the winter.
I'll get someone on it.
Gracias. The meat will buy us some time. I'm sorry. Finding game was harder than I thought. With the weather, it's getting colder.
Don't say that. Thanks to you, there will be meat on the table for the children tonight. Don't apologize.
Huh. Okay. Forget what I said. Make them something good for dinner.
I would love to, but we've got a ration. Where's Hyman? She didn't get hurt, did she?
Don't worry, she's fine.
Really? Don't hide anything, okay? An injury is no small thing.
No problem. We'll come back if we do need anything. It's getting late. I should go.
Hey, Gerald. Everyone's been talking about Laterano. They mean no harm, they're just a little anxious. Please don't mind it if someone lets something slip.
I understand.
I see. That's good, yes.
Thanks for coming, Raymond.
Let's go. We're not needed here. Is Hyman back yet?
Is Hyman back yet?
I haven't seen her all day. Davey let a group out to look for her. I'll join them later. We have a scout team ready. We'll have concrete intel when they get back tonight.
Good.
Carry on. Brother Gerald, are we really going to accept things as they are right now?
Calm down, Raymond.
You know we never had a choice. So we're compromising? What are we? What have all these years been for? What's the difference between us and them? We're just...
Raymond!
That's enough. But...
No buts. I know you don't like it, Raymond. There's still time. If there's someone you want to go see, go and see them. What's the deal with them?
Eating. Ingestion of food for the organism's survival. It is the basis of life and the fundamental instinct of all animals. Eat, digest, metabolize. Activities for the sake of survival. The most legitimate desire there is.
I wanted to try to persuade you, but now is not really the time.
You're weak. Too many things interfere with our thoughts, warp our judgment, preventing us from following the guidance of our faith. You can no longer hear me, can you?
There's no answer. The priest's voice mixes with a strange sound echoing through the underground space. The sound of eating. The sound of ripping food apart and swallowing it. Life that has lost its original form grows in the shadows.
It's almost winter. The sun has become a rare sight. This building is like a remote island. It has held out long enough. It can no longer hold out. See the gaps in the walls where the draught comes through. There's little fuel left. Many will suffer in the cold without winter supplies. Of course, we're not entirely helpless. There are a couple of small orogenium veins nearby, aren't there? Orogenium can be mined there for energy generation, as you have done for many years, but it's dangerous. Everyone knows the risk of oropathy infection. Who would take such a risk if they had a choice? Oropathy is a death sentence on an island like this. You left your homes and came here. You accepted the most dangerous jobs in order to find a place to call your new home. You're an indispensable part of this abbey. You still can't hear me, can you? I must admit, I feel a little sad. Hello? Anyone? Whoa! Oh, what's with all the broken glass? Fortuna. Good timing. Give me a hand with this window frame, will you? The wind broke the window. I'm trying to plug it up. No problem. Didn't we fix this a couple of days ago? I remember my teeth chattering in the cold while listening to Father Stefano's sermon. Should I get some tape? I'm afraid tape won't do. The pieces are all over the place, and I don't think I can put it back. Sorry. Why apologize to me, Petrus Clement? It's not your fault. Clement?
We'll go with Clement for now. If I'm saying that wrong, I do apologize.
What should we do? Find something to block it up? Wind's rather cold. Should I find some unused fabric? Don't waste it. Save it for clothes. It's getting cold. There should be some planks left when Gerald took those houses apart. I'll go look for them. That will do it for the frame. Thanks, Fortuna. What were you here for, anyway? Oh, I wanted to see if there's anything to eat because I missed lunch. It's all Fina's fault. What's my fault? Fina? What are you doing here? Listening to you talk behind my back. I'm just telling it like it is. That wouldn't have taken so long if you didn't keep going on and on about it. It's because you were dumb enough to get scammed. I told you to be careful with Lemuel. She's been talking to everyone, pretending to care. Who knows what she's really after? You've been absent-minded lately. Did she say something to you? No one said anything to me. I'm not being absent-minded. Yes, you are. We're all Sankta, Tuna. You can't fool me. So is Lemuel. You know she has no ill intentions. Why won't you trust her? Why do you hate people from Laterano so much? We were Laterans too, weren't we? Father Stefano says we can go back soon. Why do we lock up the Lateran emissaries? Why don't we go back? Because Raymond and the others can't go with us. Isn't that reason enough? You want to leave them behind? Well, I don't. That's not what I mean. Then what do you mean? Enough. The abbot has his reasons. Say no more. I'll find some planks to board up the window. You two calm down. Can't you sense my thoughts, Fina? I can, Tuna. But Never mind. I lost my cool. I know that wasn't what you meant. I was wrong too. You always have that gun with you. You got it from your dad, right? I thought it didn't work anymore. It doesn't. Maybe it's a parts problem. And I don't know how to use a gun myself, but I'm not carrying it to use it anyway. I always thought it was a decorative accessory. Partly. Holding the gun like this is like praying. That's what Dad said when he gave it to me. He said it was a Sankta practice. I don't know about any practices like that. My grandma's gun is in a canyon. We can share, Fina. I'll try to get it fixed, then we can use it together. Now, let us pray. Planks should be here somewhere. Aha, there. That should be enough. I could fix the outside windows too, if there are any left over. And fuel. Not much fuel left. Who goes there? No one. Am I seeing things? The terrain is so strange. Do you still call this a desert? There's a canyon below. Mind your step. I never knew you were such a gentleman, Rochelle. Rochelle. Oh, I kind of thought that was a feminine name. That's my bad. Nothing good ever happens from you complimenting me. Don't be so uptight. Your bank account is safe this time. Is that the nomadic abbey we're looking for? I think so. What do we do? Knock on the front door? You think someone will answer? What do you think, Federico? I think I read that wrong there. What do you think, Federico? Approach. Roger. Should we do a quick briefing first? Target building has been identified. It is a large mobile complex built jointly by Iberia and Laterano in 1011. Official name, Sancta Ambrosi. Originally controlled by Iberia, it disappeared after straying from its roots 61 years ago. Laterano received a request for help from the Abbey 1 month ago and sent 2 nuncios to investigate. Straightforward enough up to this point. So how did we end up losing contact with our nuncios and bringing in big guns like you two?
My mission is to discover the whereabouts of Cardinal Aid Lemuin and Legatus Oren Argiolus, and to guarantee their safety. I am also to ensure that the Abbey is able to function normally and avoid casualties. So His Holiness wants you to take it easy.
Well, I signed up for Lemuin. I couldn't care less what happens to Oren.
Your personal feelings are irrelevant. Target status is unclear, and we were unable to determine if the inhabitants of the building are hostile.
What do we do then?
Infiltrate and investigate? No. I suggest we take the most direct path and finish this quickly. If they are deceased, I will return their bones to Laterano. Interesting. And Lemuin is Exusier's half-sister, I believe. So, yeah, that's intriguing that she's missing. All right, so next up, we have a tutorial stage. All right, let's do this tutorial. They don't give us any deployables here. And then after this, we get to jump right into the main story. I love the song for this one now. This has got a cool stage theme.
The enemies bursting into the monastery are disturbing the residents, and their panic will increase as the battle goes on. And please take note, when enemies pass by a resident, their panic level will immediately increase. However, residents can calm down when they are next to a holy statue, and they will not be as easily frightened.
Push forward, Commandant!
Ura!
Ura!
Boom, boom. Residents will become terrified when their panic level hits a certain threshold. When this happens, they will quickly expend their energy by erratically dashing around the map in search of a holy statue to pray at.
Anyone hungry?
We'll wait for him to get here. He has to be within the range. There we go. Now it starts to calm him.
It seems like he's calmed down a little after finding a holy statue. Praying at a holy statue will effectively pacify the residents and calm them down.
Anyone hungry?
Bad news. There's a hole just ahead and those terrified fellas running amok are going to fall straight in.
Blaze. It's funny. Blaze, Gummy, and Amia for a tutorial.
Don't worry. We can patch up the holes for them with the spare timber we have on hand.
Take this and plop.
This should do it for now.
Anyone hungry? Here, everyone believes in me. Surrender now if you don't want to get sawed in half.
17, 18, 19, 20. Calm him down a little. And then Blaze will take care of this guy.
Only gonna make this place hotter.
Mission accomplished.
Blaze's voice actress I'd love to meet, Christina V. She's awesome. She's got a lot of really cool roles, and the fact that she not only does the voice, but sings a few of the things, like she sings Blaze's theme song, and she sings some other ones too, Golden Glows, I believe. But it's just the point that she's done some other singing and vocal work and stuff that I really like. So, all right, HE-1. Oh, we're not using our Lupo squad. All right, let's go with our mains. Excuse me. It was autumn at the time, and I was trekking through the barren wastes with a few Iberians who were fleeing their homeland. Just when we thought we were going to meet our ends there, the Abbey appeared in front of us. It seemed like some sort of miracle, an act of divine intervention that couldn't be real. The venerable abbot, Bishop Terragrossa, took in those people who had nowhere to go. He was a respectable elder, most pious and devout in his ways. Under his management, this monastery, cut off from the rest of the land by the wilderness, became its own fantastical domain of sorts. Here, people whose lives would normally never intertwine lived in harmony, depending on one another. They lived in material poverty, but not spiritual poverty, making no distinction between class, all putting their best feet forward to live life.
I knew it. This handwriting.
When I made my request, the abbot replied to me after an extended silence, saying that while he would not refuse aid to those in need, there was not much he could do, because of my distance. Maybe because I wasn't expecting much in the first place, I didn't feel too bad about being turned down. If anything, he seemed to be more guilty and chagrined about turning down my unreasonable request than the person who made it in the first place. I'm deeply gratified that there exists such a paradise for good people, but at the same time, I could not help but raise this one question. Can this miracle, like a seed that refuses to adapt to the soil it is grown in, truly persist on this land? Maybe I've been here a bit too long. It's about time I set out again to Laterano.
People whose lives would normally never intertwine, making no distinction between class. Yes, when I first saw the scene, I also doubted my eyes a bit. If I was speaking just for myself, I'd really hope this peace, rare as it is, could last forever. Come in. Are you busy, Signora Lemoine? Remember that pattern you were talking about earlier? Some of the others tried embroidering it onto a quilt with me. How do you think it turned out? Let's see. Excellent craftsmanship. It wouldn't surprise me to find it on a display in a store. You're exaggerating. Now that it's getting colder, the blankets you have with you might not be enough to keep you warm, so everyone pitched in some fabric. I appreciate the concern, but if you give it to me, the others might not have enough. You should think about them first. I know how I look, but I'm actually plenty tough. I don't get sick easily. Don't worry about us. As long as everyone chips in, it's not a big deal. But I must say, I'm not sure tough is what comes to mind when I look at you. What's Laterano thinking these days, sending you so far away? Well, about that. It's a question I'd like to ask my superiors. Why don't we go back? Because Ryman and the others can't go with us. Isn't that reason enough? You want to leave them behind? Well, I don't. Stupid Fina, do you really think I'm that cold-blooded? Of course I'm not going to leave behind the people I grew up with. But we can't just stay we can't just stay stuck like this forever, either. Tempers have really been high lately. Is there no better solution? What's wrong? What are you sighing for this time? Oh, Raymond. That's odd. Why are you here by yourself? Delphina's not with you? Raymond! What's that supposed to mean? It's not like Delphina and I are stuck together. You might as well be. You're close enough. Just one step from sharing a bed. We do sleep together sometimes, though. Hey, wait, that's not the point. When did you get back, anyway? I heard you were hunting with Senior Gerald. Senior Gerald. Senior? I think senior because it doesn't have the little thing over it. Senior Gerald. Any luck? Didn't get hurt, did you? Make sure you let us know if you ever do get hurt. Don't be like Senior Gerald, who just toughs it out by himself. I'm fine. I don't need you worrying over me for no reason. For no reason? Who's the one who said nothing until his wounds got inflamed? And who's the one who went down into the mines without permission and barely made it back? You. I know. Let's just say it was my fault, okay? Huh. Let's just say it was my fault. Fortuna. Yes? Actually, I came back because I wanted to ask you, and Delphina, and of course the others as well. I wanted to ask if you wanted to come with us. The young man stops speaking halfway through. He suddenly falls silent. Raymond? Never mind, it's no big deal. I need to leave for a bit, and might not be back until late. Fortuna, can you come to the roof of the sacrarium before dinner? Bring Delphina with you too. There's something I need to tell you two. Let me take a look. What's going on here? They even built a road by the monastery. It stretches all the way to the edge of the city. Is it really so cramped inside? I personally think it's plenty spacious. There's so many people here. It must be tough feeding a crowd that big, especially out in the barrens. See for yourself. Someone's coming. Oh, someone just walked out. Should be one of the residents. Where'd Hyman run off to? Well, son of a sis, hottie with the hidden face. Who's there? Halos, you're Sankta. I don't care who you people are or what you're after, but you're not coming any closer. Let's not jump right to drawing swords and crossbows. We only just met. Why don't we all take a deep breath and talk things through? Good afternoon, Senior. The three of us here are from Laterano. Without any ill intent. No need to be so tense. I'd be pleased as punch if you'd lowered your weapon. What brings some Laterans all the way out to these remote mountains? We were sent by His Holiness in search of two compatriots. You're wasting your time, Rochelle. It is clear to me that he knows exactly who we are and why we have come. He has hostile intent. You clearly have strong animosity towards Laterano, judging from the displeasure on your face. From where does your hostility come? I have no idea what you're talking about. You've been standing by the entrance to the side alley this whole time. You're deliberately trying to block our view. You don't want our attention there. So what is in there? Who do you think you are? All right, Federico, there's no need to provoke the other side, though I'm sure that wasn't your intention. You haven't forgotten the mission His Holiness gave us, right? Low key, low key. We can't afford to make a mess of things again. I wasn't trying to provoke anyone. Ha! You Laterans are always like this, showing up out of nowhere, making a mess out of everything. Given the information we have, your situation wasn't looking good to begin with. I dare you to say that again. Want to fight? Come on, I'll show you. The air is awfully tense over there. Federico has a way of drawing attention, and that makes light work of burglary. But that hooded guy over there, something's not right here. Forget it, I'll figure out the math later. First, I need to find our target. Let me guess where you might be, Lemon. Looks like no shortage of guests today. Hello, Senior Gerald. I thought I'd get to see Stefano here. His Excellency still has a lot of business to attend to. He just left. He can't have gotten very far, so given your athleticism, I'm sure you could catch up to him. Thanks. I haven't heard you hitting the strings today. If you enjoy the sound of my music, I don't mind playing something for you right now. I'll pass. I'm very grateful for the joy you've been able to bring some of our people. But not everyone finds comfort in your music. At least, I don't. I can't imagine why a musician like you chooses to remain here. But I do hope you won't bring disaster upon us. You think too highly of me. As far as I know, disasters have always been buried in the soil, from whence they take root, sprout, blossom, and bear fruit. If such a seed exists in this garden, it will break through the soil sooner or later. And I am simply a passerby, watching it all unfold. We have no seeds that ought not sprout. Before long, everything will return to normal. There will be no accidents, let alone disasters. All I ask, young lady, is that you don't do anything unnecessary. Are you giving advice? No. I'm giving you a warning. Such roundabout, insensitive words. Though I suppose the fact that you haven't done anything means you're holding back, right? I suppose that's to be expected, given the circumstances. Oh my. Pretty. Ma'am. Indeed, no shortage of guests today. Please come in, my unexpected little visitors. My name is Arturia. Would you mind telling me yours? Okay, stop talking like that, Federico. I didn't say anything wrong. Just stay quiet for now, alright? And you, young man, let's not do anything rash. We were really just looking for one of our missing colleagues, and, whoever you might be, we mean you no harm.
Humph, you sure can talk. That bruiser of yours means no harm.
Ahem, well, you have my word. Either way, could you please let us through? If you could tell the man in charge we're here, that would be ideal. Serpilia, huh? Where did Serpilia go?
She's already inside.
Huh? When did she?
Just now. Gah! I can't let you Laterans run through run roughshod. Aren't you here to see the abbot? Come with me.
Haha, great. Does that mean you're letting us in?
A boarding first. No running off like that woman.
Oh no, hurry, someone!
Clement,
What's wrong? What happened?
thank goodness, Raymond. Let the others know.
A raid.
Yeah, that's right. Raymond,
Who are these two?
don't worry about them. What's going on?
Oh, right, it's terrible. I was repairing the windows just now when I saw something moving in the distance. The band of robbers from before. They're back.
I mean, we can take care of them. It wouldn't be a problem.
Can we? Maybe? Home sweet home.
Good.
There we go.
I suppose you've already got a plan.
First of all, Vigil,
Anything outside
we handle
the plan,
these guys.
I'll judge for myself.
We're gonna put your doggo boy there.
Exusie, cover me.
Trash the mission briefing. I know what you want.
War. A word I've not heard in a long, long time.
Okay. Alright, so he's calm, but this one needs... Oh, we're good. We'll do this one over here. 18, 19, 20. Boom.
If you're really incapable, clear skies for
A valiant struggle, but you won't get away.
This mission, or like these stages, particularly rely a little bit more on, drawing your deployment points and stuff, and making sure you can keep them happy and whatnot. It's just such a pain, though. Like I really,
So you racked your brain and came up with a plan of
I like the mechanic in this is just kind of
Says there's always a countdown.
annoying, to say the least.
you saw nothing.
Awaiting orders. Shut up.
There'll be a valiant struggle, but you won't get away.
Follow
Put
me.
Exu out.
If you're really incapable, sow the mountains when summer leaves a white dew. Seed the plains when equinox paints russet hue.
The Revenant's back, always so focused on the ground. But have you forgot
Cut them to pieces.
They'll be sleeping with the fiends in... This hunt has dragged on for too long.
That one down. They're both staying relatively calm.
You saw nothing.
Take care of them real quick. Boom! Stage 1 complete.
Raymond's acting all shifty. What is it he can't tell me right now? Something that has to wait until after dark. I don't get it, but whatever. He can do his own thing. It's already so late. I'm only now bringing the food over. Senora Lemuin must be starving by now. And these portions are tiny. Be patient, stomach. Stop growling already. Didn't you eat just a minute ago? I really hope I can feast one day. Just eat all I want without worry. Who's there? I know you're here. Who are you? Who's hiding over there? Even if you keep quiet, I already saw you. You aren't from the Abbey. Come out. If you don't, I'm gonna call the others over. I mean, I'm gonna pull the trigger. All right, I'm coming out. Guess I messed up. You sure have sharp eyes. Was it the light from my wings? I knew it. It's way too easy to pick out a Sankta, what with everyone having different wings and halos. Good grief. And here I was thinking I wouldn't need to be all that sneaky. I've never seen you before. Who are you? Okay, Senora. Let's put the gun down first.
Okay, so I think it is Senor and Senora. So I was saying senior, so all right. We'll change it up from now on.
That isn't something a nice girl should be pointing at her own kind. You're a Sankta too. You can feel I don't have anything against you. I guess you can call me a justice bringer this time. Yeah, something like that, since I'm here to save people and all. Fine, if you don't want to talk, I'm going to call for help. Whoa, settle down there. Let go of me! Sure, but you better not scream. Sorry, didn't do a good job controlling my strength there. Are you alright? Who exactly are you and what are you after? It's nothing I can't tell you. I'm looking for someone. Another Sankta, just like me. Pink hair, probably still in a wheelchair. She's got a kind and gentle look to her, but her personality is actually anything but. Is she talking about Lemoine? That look on your face tells me you know who I'm talking about. My lucky day. The food you just brought over. Who's it for? I've got a feeling you're taking it to Lemoine, right? How did she know? Haha, looks like I'm right on the money again. You really need to work on your poker face. So, would you mind telling me how Senora Lemoine has been doing? You'd prefer not to say, huh? Or are you not allowed to? You're hesitating and a bit scared. Stop it! Stop making things up! Am I making things up? I guess you'd know. You seem to have a lot on your mind, which feels a little odd. How could a cloistered place like this have so much trouble? Where's all that coming from? Are you getting into fights because there aren't many of your own kind here? That's none of your business, isn't it? Are you saying that because the patron firearm you're holding hasn't been maintained in a while because it's rusting? I don't mind helping you out with that. I'm pretty good at gun repair, so why don't we do a little trade? You just tell me where Lemoine is, that's all. Why not tell me? I bet you already have an idea of who I am, right? You look pretty smart to me. Did Laterano send you to, like, Senora Lemoine? I was. That's enough small talk now. I'm a bit short on time. You're really not going to tell me where Lemoine is? Well, if that's how it is, that's how it is. Say, let me take care of delivering that food for you. That's that then. Vale. Last one. That should wrap things up. These people are bandits. They sure know how to make a ruckus. Federico, how are things on your end? I heard a whole bunch of commotion over there. You didn't blow up any buildings, did you? I did not. Great. Well done. I'm just wrapping up over here as well. Thank you so much. You two are incredible. That should teach the robbers to behave themselves for a while. It sounds like this isn't the first time you've been attacked, is it? How often does this sort of thing come up? If you came from Laterano, you must know how difficult it is to travel these roads. If we didn't have a ride, it wouldn't have been able to get here so easily. If we didn't have a ride? It wouldn't have been able to get here so easily? I think that should say if we didn't have a ride, we wouldn't have been able to get here so easily. Nobody wants to hang around a place like this, except the truly desperate. As you saw, there's nothing out here in these barren lands except this monastery. Once those thugs set their sights on us, do you expect them to give up? He's right. Now that it's almost winter, they'll be coming more often. That reminds me, didn't Benny hurt his leg last time? How's he doing? He's still got a bit of a limp. Only option is to tough it out. By the way, who are these two? We're, I suppose you could call us emissaries from Laterano? Guests from Laterano. How are you called? Executor Federico of the Laterano Notarial Hall. Executor Rochelle. We have another colleague with us, but she's already one step ahead. Signor Federico. Signor Rochelle. You don't seem surprised. Sure. We knew it was only a matter of time before Laterano sent another. The only question is, what kind of guest would we be getting? I thought. The tall, thin, and frail, middle-aged man subconsciously glances at the guns in the hands of the two Lateran visitors. I thought the next time they sent someone, it would be to hand down charges. Charges? What crimes have you committed? Under the notarial hall's purview, most criminals see a reduced sentence upon surrendering themselves and obtaining the forgiveness of the wronged. Surrender? Sentence? Huh? What are you talking about? Hold on, Federico. We don't have a handle on the situation yet. Let's not worry about that until we find Lemuel and Oren. Sorry, we'd like to talk to the man in charge here. Do you think you could arrange that for us? Yes. Give me a second. I'll go. No need. Thank you for your assistance. I would be the man you're looking for. Sorry, I was one step too late. Your Excellency, and Gerald. Brother Gerald. Would you be the most reverend abbot of this monastery? And this, Senor Gerald, is he also community leader? No, he is not. True enough. I am no such important person. I realize you must have many questions. Please, come. Let us find a more suitable place to talk. Clement, please close the gate and don't let anyone approach for the time being. But, Your Excellency, I'll be here. Raymond, you keep at it. All right, be careful out there, brother. Then I'll be waiting for you at the door. If you need anything, feel free to call for me. All right, now no one will disturb us. I am the bishop here, Stefano Torregrossa, and I also serve as the abbot of this monastery. It is a pity that you two came such a long way only to find our hospitality so lacking. We have no need for meaningless pleasantries. Under the power vested in us by His Holiness, Pope Evangelista 11, my colleagues and I came to locate two Lateran nuncios. I ask, where are Lemuel and Oren Argiolas? I suppose I have no choice but to tell you. Signora Lemuel is currently a guest of our monastery. But do not worry, we would never mistreat a guest, and her safety is assured. What about Oren Argiolas? The whereabouts of Signor Oren is actually what I wanted to ask you. It is not the case that you arrived so quickly because he contacted the Lateran? What? Signor, I'm afraid your statement is inconsistent with our intelligence. It is our understanding that Sanctiluminium Ambrosi sent a distress message to Laterano. We dispatched two nuncios in response and lost contact with both of them. And so, His Holiness sent us to find our people. Find our people. I'm glad I missed that. To find our people and investigate the situation. Does any of that conflict with what you know? We were unable to retain Signor Oren. By that you mean you weren't able to keep Oren restrained. You can say that again. He was on the edge the whole time. While inviting Signora Lemuel to remain our guest, he took advantage of the distraction and slipped out. We don't know what happened to him after that. Federico? Yes. Oren escaped, but hasn't shown himself or contacted us. Does that ring any alarm bells for you? Yes. You could add a little more than just yes. And my becloaked friend, I can't imagine any of the ordinary residents here would be quite so in the know. Who exactly are you? Think of me as a hunter here, or maybe a bodyguard. No need to worry about me. All right then. We'll just run with that for now. Set Oren aside for now. We demand a reasonable explanation for Signora Lemuel's circumstances. Why would a monastery need to restrict the movements of a Lateran nuncio who came to offer aid? Your answer will determine our subsequent actions. Considering you are both Lateran emissaries, you should already be familiar with this monastery's history. Our knowledge is limited to the information in the mission briefing. Excuse me. Over a decade ago, we entered the wastes to avoid a catastrophe. Ran out of fuel, and the monastery has been trapped here ever since. Unable to communicate with the outside world, all we could do was try to farm for ourselves. But the soil in these parts is mostly fallow. Not much food grows these days. That's not all. The beasts that wander the barrens, and robbers even more vicious than beasts, all pose grave threats. We never had much choice, so you decided to take in vagrants wandering the wastelands. Take in is far too generous a term. No, we did no such an act of charity. Excuse me. Oh, man. We were merely accepting people who had no home to return to. There are many reasons a person can become uprooted, and we did nothing more than offer them a new place to stay. Stefano. Point of clarification. There's one thing I'd like to ascertain. Whoa, Federico, what are you... Hey, don't! Reverend Executor, this is most unusual. I'm finished. He's a sarcasm. You really just went for it. But there's definitely something. Your Excellency, can I ask you to explain what's going on here? In the heart of a Laterano monastery. Why have we found a sarcasm? Well, I guess that's that. I apologize if you find this offensive, but what are you doing here? I already told you, I'm just a hunter, Gerald the hunter. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like you believe me.
To drive them away with
Do
fire
we
is
believe him?
easily done.
That's a good question.
But if we're to ensure they'll never come back to hurt us,
That's a good
then a
question.
fire is not enough.
49. Let's collect this, which puts us to 99. We are one away from what we need. Okay. Let's do this real quick. River of Life.
In a place far, far away, there was once a village where the people led happy lives. Some built homes to shelter the others from the elements. Some reclaimed farmland. Others set out to hunt, search for ores, and at the same time, fought back scoundrels who would take the villages for themselves. No concept of ego existed among those villagers. No difference between self and other. No one could survive without the rest. They lived together in that small village and called it home. But nothing good lasts forever. The soil yielded less and less. Hunting became more and more difficult, and as food dwindled, stomachs grumbled in hunger. The cold months crept closer and closer, but there was not enough fuel for heat. Something had to be done about this, and so everyone said, "This must be a trial given to us by the Lord, and we must pray for forgiveness." Just at that time, a group of well-meaning people came by, and upon seeing the plight of the village, spoke to the head of the villagers. "Come, live with us in our city. But we can only bring those who are most like us. Come and enjoy a better life. All you need to do is leave a few of you behind." I don't like this story, Signora Artoria. Why not? Starving is really bad. It hurts. Yeah, it's bad, and so is leaving your friends behind. Yes, that is a very correct idea of collectivism, with a little bit of heroism mixed in, or even romanticism. Romantic stories do have ways of stirring the heat, but it is exactly that romanticism and high-mindedness that has a way of confounding others naturally. Neither you nor I are immune. Big words. I don't get it at all. You're talking like a weirdo again, Signora Artoria. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's my mistake. Let's go with a different story then. What would you like to hear? I want to hear a hero story. You all want to become heroes. I want to be a great hero, just like Mama. Wow, your Mama sounds amazing. Be good now and give me just a moment. I seem to have caught you at a bad time. Am I interrupting you, Artoria? You ask despite already knowing, Most Reverend Bishop Alice. Apologies. It was not my intent to displease you. I merely came to bid you farewell. Owing to the addition of an unexpected traveling companion, I plan to leave as soon as possible and escort my companion back home. Allow me to offer a prayer for this pitiful soul. I'm not trying to fight with you here. Something about that guy. Especially not in front of the children. However, pitiful should never be used to describe one's resolve to live. Resolve. Resolve. The amount of control we have over our own lives is often not as perfect as we believe it to be, and no one is ever the wiser until proven otherwise. Think of things that one must never do. They are often already done by the time their senses return to them. Does the act of blame contradict the heart's inner desires? Who's to say that our so-called resolve is not just a coping mechanism and used to deceive ourselves? At times like these, where are our truest emotions and intentions hidden? When will the day come that one's thoughts, emotions, and actions can truly be unified? Is this not the point of your inquiry, sir? It seems that today is in which a great many things will unfold. Is a day in which a great many things will unfold. I hear commotion outside, as if some acquaintances have come knocking. If I were you, Bishop Aulus, I would not be in such a hurry to leave just yet. Sorry to keep you waiting. You took forever, Signora Artoria. So slow. Please forgive me. Why don't I tell an extra spectacular story to make up for it? Do you want to hear a story of a grand battle between heroes and villains? I do! All right, then you must listen carefully. A long, long time ago, in a faraway castle, there lived a young boy. The boy didn't express much emotion and rarely spoke, but he was incredibly fierce in a fight. I told you, I'm just a hunter. If that's not enough to satisfy you, then I don't mind trying something else. I'm just an ordinary, roughly middle-aged Sarkaz. I do not believe that is the entire truth. That weapon behind you, you carry it always. You actively conceal your movements, which is a mercenary's habit. That's for self-defense. You saw it yourself. Those bandits are always raiding us. Things aren't so peaceful here. That does not explain why you have a mercenary's habit. I've got farm equipment in my hands more often than weapons these days. I hunt for a living here. Sometimes I work in the fields, or in the mines when I have to. No need to get all excited about these old hands of mine. I'm just an ordinary guy, bound up by life. Federico, stay mindful of our mission here. I don't think now's the time to be chasing hypotheticals. A reasonable determination. Would your excellency mind explaining the situation? Sorry to bring you trouble, Stefano. No, you have nothing to apologize for, Gerald. As the two of you might surmise, over a decade ago, Gerald brought a small group of Sarkaz to the monastery. At the time, they were stranded in the barrens without food or ammunition. When they found our monastery, they had no choice but to try and make contact. You didn't expel them, so they chose to settle here. Is there a difference between driving out those who've been cornered and driving them into a corner yourself? I guess that makes sense. At first, not everyone was accepting of our new neighbors. But rootless hatred and prejudice have no purchase when survival is at stake. We provided a place for these people to stay, and in turn, they helped us deal with our own problems. Our food shortage, the bandit threat, and our gradually depleting energy supply. They relied on us, so we also relied on them. But you still chose to send messengers to contact Laterano. A choice made in the absence of choice. Laterano is willing to provide us with assistance, and is also willing to welcome us back in. However, even Lemuel, the nuncio willing to grant us the most concessions, still held one non-negotiable condition. Sarkaz had no place in paradise. No place? Why? On the basis of race alone, just because they are Sarkaz. How are they any different from us? Without these stalwart brothers and sisters, we would have lost our fight for survival long ago. Where was Laterano during all that time we were supporting each other? So let me beg the two of you to once again plead to the wisdom of His Holiness the Pope and to your faith. The haggard old man raises both his hands. He both appears to be holding up his faith as well as crumbling beneath its overwhelming weight. The Sancta's faith is formless,
Intangible. Nowhere to be found. His fingers grasp for the halo over his head in vain, the old man's hands gradually slipping until they cover his face. What Lemon said is correct. There will not be sarcasm in Laterano. Nor will Laterano allow any sarcasm through her gates. Hey, Federico, you don't have to be so blunt. This is a fact. Enough, Stefano. I already told you, we can accept it. You go to Laterano, and we'll find a place to start over. That Nuncio, Lemon, promised us some support, but in name. We have to go our separate ways. It's always been a fact. The fact that they even offered us that much is already more than I expected. It's more than enough. No, it shouldn't be a fact. It's certainly not enough. Don't get it? That we even nominally have to go our separate ways only makes this all the more ridiculous. Sorry, Stefano. We've given up. What? What do you mean? What I mean is, you don't have to subject yourself to all this, just for our sake. You don't need to be so hard on yourself. I've talked to the others. We've decided. We're leaving. What you're saying? What are you saying? I assume that settles things, Reverend Executors? We'll leave. It just means letting go of a group of destitute refugees. You can do that, right? The Notarial Hall does not harm innocent civilians. I'm glad. Really, Federico? I do not lie. How should I put this? Well, whatever. You're leading this operation, so if that's what you've decided, I don't object. I swear to you, a Sarkaz has never been in a Lateran sacrarium. That in itself does not constitute a crime. Really now. How should I say this? There's actually no explicit prohibition on it. Bishop Stefano Torregrossa, I will continue to pursue the whereabouts of Orin Argiolus based on your testimony. May I take it that you've accepted the conditions put forth by the Lateran that all monastery residents, with the exception of the Sarkaz, will be resettled in Laterano at a later date? If you remain silent, I will interpret that as your tacit consent. Stefano. Time. What? I need a bit more time. I would finish my final sermon and spend one last night here. Please, give me just a bit more time at the very end. I will give you an answer after Matins tomorrow. What do you think, Federico? Fine. Now I wish to meet with Cardinal Aide Lemoine. Signora Lemoine is our guest. Of course you may visit her if you wish. Understood. In that case, we will take our leave. Hey, wait a second. At least say something first, Federico. Am I still holding on to some of my old merc habits? Looks like even after all these years, some habits die hard. Gerald, are you absolutely certain of this? Sure, Stefano. You know I wouldn't joke around with this stuff. We're all bound by the need to survive. What you said was no lie. Anyone home? I brought your winter clothes. Huh? That's weird. Where's everybody today? Fina, what are you doing standing around here? Oh, Caroline. Perfect timing. I came by to drop off everyone's winter clothes, but is something going on? I've been walking around all day and haven't seen a soul. What are you all busy with? We have some stuff to take care of. Thanks for coming all the way out here, but we're fine with what we have. We already have enough winter clothes, so you could take these back. Also, tell the others not to worry about us. What are you talking about? When in the last few years have any of us had enough to get through the winter? Aren't you still wearing that light coat, Caroline? The temperature's going to drop pretty soon, so we need to get you into something a bit thicker. Fina, is something wrong? What's that in your hand? Oh, it's nothing. Just some hardtack. No, let me see it. Hey, wait! The Sankta girl reaches out to snatch the supposed hardtack from behind the other girl's back. Almost instinctively, she splits the dry, hard thing down the middle before she is pushed away. Stuffed inside the hardtack are truths hidden away all this time, finally exposed to her eyes. What is this? Bran and sawdust? Caroline, did you say you had more than enough food?
Why are you eating this? No, Fina, listen to me. We're just what? Talk to me, Caroline. Tell me, what depths have we stooped to these days?
The sound of knuckles rapping at the door. The door isn't actually locked, but the guests outside still continue to knock and wait for a response. This used to be a secret code agreed upon by several friends from the school. So much time has passed that Lemoine thought she forgot, but the facts prove that she has not forgotten. The meaning of the code words tapped by the guests is rescue successful and first arrival.
Come in. Salve, room service. Gratias, please put the food over there on the table. Do you need a tip? You can't just ask if you need a tip. It's gotta come from the heart, right? I guess you have a point. You don't seem surprised at all, Lemoine. Are you disappointed that it's me? Of course not. The fact that you're here means news of this place has already reached Laterano, right? Well, more or less. That Oren guy actually left you behind and ran off by himself. When I get back, I'm going to tell Mastema and Fiametta. Cut him some slack, won't you? Oh. All right, back to business. I know His Holiness wouldn't send you here alone, which means I need you to report your mission as well as who's with you. Switch to your business voice, huh? All right then, Cardinal Aide Lemoine. This mission is commissioned directly by His Holiness and is led by Federico, Executor of the Notarial Hall. The other functionary is Rochelle Colombo, another executor who volunteered to come. Our first objective is to locate you and Oren, and the second is to investigate this monastery. All right. Federico also has another mission to maintain order. Unfortunately, I think His Holiness picked the wrong guy for the job at this time. And that concludes my report. I see. So His Holiness actually sent that Federico, huh? Okay, I get the gist of things. Gratias, Ria. Again with the nicknames? Come on, you should know better. So what are you going to do next? On the surface, it looks like your movements are being restricted, but in fact, it's you who doesn't want to leave, right? If you wanted to leave, nobody here could stop you. My legs aren't fully healed yet. Like that makes a difference. You trust me too much, Ria. I suppose that's fine. Alright. It's true that I decided to stay behind. If Federico is trying to arrest the bishop here on charges of false imprisonment, I'd appreciate it if you could clear up that situation for me. Also, sorry, but I don't plan on leaving just yet. Mind if I ask why? The reason, let's just say that diplomacy isn't something that can be settled with guns and bullets alone. When it comes to a shootout, the odds are always in my favor. But if I have to sit down for a negotiation, I need to tread carefully or I might end up persuaded by the other party. It just so happens that I get along quite well with the residents here, so I want to see who ends up changing their minds first. Oh, when you put it that way, it sounds like you plan on compromising. Back in school, you watched me for an entire year just to make sure I showed up to class. Hehe. I thought you'd be ashamed if you couldn't get your diploma for attendance reasons. As for the problem we have here, I still have a friendly attitude at least, right? I knew Oren would report the situation here, which is why I chose to stay behind. I've had a bad feeling about it, and I don't want to provoke the bishop any further. With all the information I have on the monastery now, if there ever arises another opportunity to sit down at the negotiation table, I may be able to get him to relax a little and accept my proposal. I thought you'd say as much. I'm glad you understand. That's not what I said, but that's what you were thinking. Kinda hate empathy sometimes. Now, don't talk like that. How much do you know about the situation here? Enough. Nothing special about it other than the group of Sarkas. Did you know they sent a total of 3 messengers? Leah, what? I had the impression that you've never liked field missions. What made you sign up for this one? Maybe that I wanted to see you. Liar. Anyway, I'll find the others and explain your situation first. But to be entirely honest, I don't think what you're doing here is going to accomplish anything. It's worth a shot. You're getting scarier and scarier, Lemoine. Not like it matters, though. Finally mustered the means to reach out to me. Here I thought you'd abandon the mission after seeing Lemoine. Who knows? Might not work out. No joke, please. Spare me. You brought it up? All right, I don't have time to chat either. Let's talk business. Phew, dealing with guys like him really wears you down. What a pain in the ass, this mission. Never would have taken it if I knew. Huh? Who's there? Whoa, didn't think you'd actually follow me, girlie. I can't have you running around the monastery by yourself. I need to keep an eye on you and make sure you don't do anything bad. And, there's also a favor I'd like to ask of you, and of course I'll pay you back for it. Let's see. Flour, eggs, and, where's the leftover sugar from last time? I've been trying so hard to scrounge up leftover ingredients from dinner every day, so why is there still so little? I need enough for Serpilia, Ava Stefano, Fina and Raymond, and also Petrus Gerald, Petrus Clement, Signora Caroline, and... There's not going to be enough, though. Tuna? I'm coming in, okay? There's something I have to tell you. What are you doing in here? Oh, Fina, I was just about to go look for you. Do you still remember when I helped Ami Tanina with farm work for a month? Where did I put that bit of white sugar I got in return? How long ago was that? Where are you going now? What do you need sugar for, and where'd you get all those cooking ingredients? Wait, Tuna, don't tell me you're still trying to bake sweets at a time like this. Fina, what's wrong? Are you mad at me? I wasn't trying to hide food from you. I just wanted to prepare a surprise for everyone. Fina, don't be mad at me, okay? I promise you'll be the first to have some after I'm done. Tuna, you... Forget it. Just put those things down. Now's not the time to be doing stuff like this. Huh? But what? But I promised someone I'd make a herb pizzella as a gift. A gift? Yeah, she helped fix up my patron firearm, so I have to thank her. It's a miracle, Fina. Once this gun got fixed, I felt something different about just holding it in my hands. It's like I knew how to use it from birth. Look, it's even prettier now, and the two of us will be able to use it together from now on. You know what, Tuna? I actually never cared that much about my own firearm, or for Ava Stefano's sermons. I don't even care that I've ever seen Laterano. Huh? Fina, what are you talking about? Can I even really be called a Sankta? Maybe I can. But I care about you and Raymond and Ava Stefano and Petrus Gerald and Petrus Clement, Ami Tanina, Caroline. I care about everyone here. This is my only home. And they're my only family. What are you talking about, Fina? Of course I care about everyone else just like you. No, it's not the same. If you were just like me, if you knew how hard Raymond and the others have it, then you wouldn't be in the mood to make your joke of a pizzella at a time like this. You wouldn't be so naive. I kind of feel like you changed after those people from Laterano showed up. Huh? Of course I haven't. Tuna, the gun of yours. Was Lemo and the Laterano the Lateran who fixed it up for you?
Nope, it wasn't Lemon.
Your Excellency, I've allowed the two visitors freedom of movement around the monastery as you've ordered. But are you sure it's all right? You don't look too good. Do you want to get some rest first? Oh, Clement, it's nothing you need to worry about. Go ring the bell. This week's sermon is being moved to today, so go tell the others. Gerald, are you and your people coming? Sorry, Stefano. We still have a lot to prepare. I can't say how many of us will show. I understand. But are we seriously going to accept their terms? Do we absolutely have to leave behind our own? Enough. Go, Clement. Hurry. All right. If faith has betrayed itself, then I, too,
Must make my decision. I must repent. Alright. HE-2.
These wonderful days just never end.
Your lives are mine to protect.
Exterminate the rats. Alright, so I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna put the other one over there.
Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
Go with that. I should have put him over there, but that's alright.
I'm prepared to fight.
Bad luck. You ran into me.
They're gonna go nuts. At least they run that way, though. I'm gonna put that there.
Moving to designated
Don't need
location.
her anymore.
I'm prepared. I am Dublin.
Okay, they're obliterated.
Thus, I speak.
And what purpose do you think your sacrifice will serve?
Okay. These guys are alright now.
Let's begin.
Okay.
Got it. You can't stop me.
Waiting for your call. Veil, the curtain of destiny.
Okay. 14 to 25. Making good progress here.
You saw nothing.
Ready to move. A valiant struggle. But you won't get away.
Solid positioning.
Sorry, pal. You ain't going nowhere. Let's keep them
Got it. Shut up.
taken care of well.
Where do you wish to hide? I'm Dublin.
Got it.
Buddy,
Pass on your last
you
words.
don't really think you're getting through, do you? Gerald, are you coming to ring the bell with me or something? Is that weird? It is. I asked you once before to help me ring the bell, and you were having none of it. You ended up sending Raymond instead. I guess that did happen. I thought you didn't like the sound. Can't say either way. After all these years. After all these years, you still haven't gotten used to it. You'll have to excuse me. You'll have to forgive me. That sound doesn't carry good memories. Clement, do you still remember Eileen? Eileen. How could I forget? If the two of you hadn't saved me back then, the bandits would have thrown me down the canyon long ago. She was the one who insisted on saving you. I didn't want to stick my neck out. You're not supposed to say that to my face. Sorry. We set up camp last night. Didn't get the greatest haul, and it wasn't easy to handle either. Ryman bled his game while I lit the fire. I was watching what that tiny flame gradually sputtered to life, and I don't know what came over me, but I suddenly started thinking of Eileen. Gerald. To be honest, I hadn't thought of her for the longest time. It was only when she came to mind that I realized. I can't even remember her face. She was always a bit of an outcast among us. She once told me that seeing the flowers all over the monastery and hearing the sound of the bell would set her heart at ease. There aren't many flowers to look at these days. Sadly true. Eileen loved the sound of the bell here, up until the day she left us, when she insisted on waiting until the bell rang to close her eyes. So that's why you don't like it. Maybe I'm just afraid it'll be a harbinger of bad news. If only we had enough medicine back then, her injuries might not have taken a turn for the worse, and it might not have come to that. There are no ifs. I hope she finds salvation. Yes, we all do. Gerald, is it true that you've decided to leave? Yes. I didn't think it'd be this sudden. I should have told you earlier, but never had a chance. It's probably going to be hard on Raymond and Fortuna for a while. Those kids have always gotten along. They're not going to take it easy. Raymond's too young. Excuse me. Raymond's too young. He was so little when he first came here. He doesn't remember a whole lot. He doesn't yet understand what it means to be a Sarkaz. But he will understand. He will come to terms with it. Perhaps that is the Sarkaz's fate. Fate isn't a pleasant word. Ha! You have a point, but I can't find a better one. Alright, I should go visit Eileen. We'll be walking different paths from here on out, so I guess this is where we part ways. Wait, Gerald! I'll go with you. It's only a slight detour, and I won't get in the way of anything. Alright, look, the blooming season just started, so we can pick some flowers to give to Eileen. I'll go with you. No, Clement, you're confused. What? This isn't the path meant for you. You go up those steps over there. Keep going up, the scenery is prettier from up there. Will you get to see that beautiful scenery? Go ring the bell, Clement. Don't waste time. That is where you belong. Take care, brother.
What are you talking about, Fina? This has nothing to do with Signora Lemuin. Liar! Who else could fix up a patron firearm for you? Only that Lateran. Why would you think that? How can you tell if I'm lying or not? Fina, do you get how I'm feeling right now at all? I really wish I could understand, Tuna, but I just don't get it anymore. The halo says you're telling the truth, and that your pain is no less than mine. But if that's true, how do you still have the heart to sit there baking pizzelle? How can you spend time around those Laterans like it's nothing? I just don't get it, Tuna. Fina, it's because I want everyone to live their best lives. What do you mean? We don't actually have a choice, do we? Even though Avestefanos said it himself, and nobody talks about it with us. I've always known, deep down in my heart. Laterano will let us back in. I overheard them saying that our monastery is actually a very powerful building, and Laterano absolutely will want us to go back. I also know that Patris Gerald and the others, they might not be able to come with us. But I still want to try my best. If I can get the Laterans to understand that Gerald's people are all good, then maybe what? They'd agree to let us all live together in Laterano? I get it now. Is that why you're always so willing to chat with that Lemuin woman? You think you're putting in a good word for them. Did you beg her? You think we have to get on our knees to beg for Ryman's people to not get left behind? Is that it? Fina, you're trying to get them to change their minds. So what do you have to show for it? I'm still working on them. You're wasting your time. Wasting it on a hope and a prayer, Tuna. How are we different from Raymond or Caroline? Raymond can do way more than I can, and Caroline is a lot smarter than me. See? You get it. They're splitting us up. They've accepted us as their people, but at the same time, they're looking down on the ones we truly belong with. I can't accept it. I'd rather not go to Laterano at all. But, Fina, didn't we agree that one day we'd leave the wastes and go to Laterano together? That we'd go live in a world without hunger or cold. A world filled with flowers rather than empty barrens as far as the eye can see. That's just childish dreaming, Tuna. Do you really think so? You think it's just an empty dream? I'm not as optimistic as you are. All I know is, ever since those Laterans showed up, the air in the monastery has gotten weirder and weirder. It's true, our lives here have been incredibly difficult, but I've never resented that. I love listening to Ava Stefano's sermons and Petrus Gerald's stories about the past. Sometimes, when we didn't have enough food, Caroline would slip us a couple extra pieces of jerky, or Amita Nina would give an extra scoop of the thickest veggie porridge to Raymond, and we'd get together and share it. I was fine with that. Fina. But what about now? Everyone always talks about how good Laterano is, but all I've ever seen of it is those people messing up our lives. I understand you need to vent, Fina, but you can't blame Signora Lemuin for that. Am I venting? Okay, maybe I am. But have you heard what everyone has been talking about in private? Have you noticed that Petrus Gerald and the others are coming by less and less? Well, you've been busy delivering food to Lemuin. Well, you've been busy making your stupid pizzelle. Do you have any idea what Carolyn's people have been eating? You don't know anything. Wait. What? Wait, Fina, what are you saying? What's going on with Carolyn? I didn't know. Yeah, you don't know anything at all. It's not your fault, it's mine. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I never would have known how bad the situation actually is. Tuna, if through our halos you could feel even a fraction of what I'm feeling right now, then hand your patron firearm over. Fina, what are you going to do? Just hand it over. There's no reason for us to pray to these things. Give it to me. Something's wrong with you, Fina. It's too dangerous. I can't give it to you. Why not? Didn't you say you'd share it with me? I did say that, but this is different. You said you didn't get me at all, but I should be the one saying that. What's gotten into you, Fina? Wake up! I'm all too awake. I've never been so awake. You want to talk about prayer? About the empathy Sankta have? I've had enough. I don't need to be special. All I want is... You can't! Fina, don't be like this!
As soon as she went towards her, I freaking saw that coming.
Huh?
She shot her on accident. The gun went off.
Fina... all I want is for everyone to stay together. Fina, what's wrong with you? You're scaring me. Fina! Yo, finally caught up to you guys. So what's the word? Everything going well?
Serpilla, you need to notify us in advance if you're going to act on your own.
Don't be such a hard ass, will ya? All I want is to finish the job as soon as possible. First, the good news. I found Lemuin. She's inside the monastery. And then the bad news. She doesn't want to come with us. She always has her own agenda. Couldn't get through to her at all. Hey, don't frown at me. Go drag her out yourself, if you've got what it takes.
All right.
Huh? All right, what? Wait, you've got to be joking, right?
No. Serpilla, let me give you a little insider tip from the Notario Hall. Wrong voice.
Serpilla, let me give you a little insider tip from the Notario Hall. What is it? Federico never cracks jokes. He isn't capable.
Well, that's a blunt call out. I will locate her myself and ascertain her thoughts.
What? Do you think I'm lying to you or something?
I can't be certain that you're telling the whole truth.
Federico. Now I understand why so many girls in the Curia have you blacklisted. Well, whatever. Let's set that aside for now. What's the situation over there? Did you manage to talk to the people?
That blunt call out by Rochelle.
Senor Rochelle?
Is this one with you?
Yes, we're all colleagues.
What else do you want to know, young Sankta? We have nothing here, nothing at all. We also have nothing to say. You shouldn't have come.
Amita Nina, how could you say that? We were the ones who reached out to Laterano. You didn't have a problem with it then, did you? A problem? I should have told Stefano a long time ago to not expect anything from Laterano. Yes, Julian, throw them out. We never should have let the Laterans in. We don't need their help. Get them out of here now. Calm down, Amitanina. What's gotten into you? Weren't you just saying you'd go welcome our guests? Seems like the two of you need to sort some things through in private. Is there anything I could do to help? So sorry. Amitanina here just got a bit worked up. I don't think we need any help. I just need to take her to get some rest. Come find me if there's anything you need to talk about later. Yeah. Make sure she gets some rest. That was kind of odd. Looks like things aren't going too well for you over here. What was that about? Things seemed fine at first. Then I have no idea what happened. Federico, you were the only one who wanted to interrogate the residents. Did you notice anything? That woman's mood was unstable. While it's not unusual for a person to change their mind mid-conversation, it's rare for someone to forget the topic entirely and change their demeanor. And so you mean... I do have a theory. But it's just speculation at this point. I will discuss it if the likelihood rises significantly. Then that's that. Besides, some of the residents being kind of loopy, you must have made some other discovery. Come on, Reverend Executors, let's put our heads together. So, putting it plainly, the bishop dumped all this extra work just for the sake of the Sarkaz living here. Didn't we mention we were willing to bring them back to Laterano? He's leaving everyone out here to starve in the cold just for those Sarkaz. He detained a Lateran nuncio just for those Sarkaz. Yes. Seriously? First the traitor Anduin leaves, and now we get this merciful, compassionate bishop? Yes. Whew. All right. Cool. I'm not exactly into the drama, but is he out of his mind? No wonder Lemoine couldn't agree with him. Considering what the Sarkaz did in Londinium, those Victorian dukes are probably furious. If word got out that His Holiness was cavorting with the Sarkaz now, his plans for the Summit of Nations would be through. Sounds pretty serious. Federico, if I remember correctly, the task given to Lemoine and Oren was to provide assistance and reclaim this monastery for Laterano, right? Correct. A good call, seeing as how this structure could serve as a fort and has a rather unique history. Definitely could come in handy, especially when the time comes for us to reach out to Iberia again. At least for now, there's no need for us to stoke conflict and burn bridges here. By the way, Federico, did you recognize that Sarkaz back there? Yes. Who is he? A mercenary. The average conversation between the two of you is about as interesting as, what did you eat last night? Dinner. Federico, how much do I have to pay you for a few extra words? You name the price and I'll send the bill to His Holiness. I've never considered this question. He's so robotic. Give the guy a break. All right. We now know Lemoine as well, but what about Oren? Guy ran off a while ago. Even Lemoine doesn't know where he ended up. But he's pretty good with the self-preservation. If you ask me, he's probably hiding somewhere, planning his next move. Huh? A bell? Where's that sound coming from? The ringing of the bell signifies the beginning of the sermon. Should we head over? There won't be anyone in the monastery during the sermon, so we could look for Oren. No, I'll attend the sermon. Whoa, talk about out of character. I need to ascertain the overall condition of this monastery to judge whether it can maintain stable function under current circumstances, or if outside intervention is needed. Attending a sermon where a large number of residents will be present is a good observation opportunity. Oh, I suppose it does make sense if you put it like that, but, shouldn't you be prioritizing some more clear-cut issues? For example, Oren, or is there something else you're worried about? You're overthinking. I carry out my duties in the manner I find logical. Again, very robotic. His logic does not match everybody else's, but it works out in the end. I mean, again, look at what happened with Zwillingstorm. Huh? The bell's ringing. That's strange. The abbot normally doesn't preach at this time, so why is the bell ringing right now? Oh, Clement, talk about great timing. Do you know what's going on? The abbot rang the bell because he decided last minute to deliver a sermon today. Let's head over to the chapel. That's We should go, but we haven't finished our work yet. Why the sudden sermon, though? Does it have to do with the Laterans? Are they trying to... are they here to cause trouble? Why would you ask that? It's not a big deal. Just tell me if it's true or not. Hey, tell me, are they not letting us go to Laterano because Gerald's people are here? Where'd you get that idea? It's been on everyone's mind. The Sankta and the Sarkaz are on bad terms, right? If not for that fact, we might already be back in Laterano. Well, there's no point talking about any of that now. I just don't know how the abbot feels about all this. Clement, just forget I ever said anything. Nobody's blaming anyone, and there's nobody to blame in the first place. It's just that the winter's not that easy. The winter's not easy. Cold is awful. Yes, I understand. Everyone's just thinking. If we could go to Laterano, we'd have food, clothing, and work, right? It'd be nice if there were some forests nearby. At least we'd be able to forage some branches to start a fire, so the kids could stay warm during the winter. Yes, you're right. At least the kids would stay warm. But would our lives really improve after we got to Laterano? Probably. I mean, where else would we go? You don't need to worry yourself over that too much, Clement. God will protect us. What was that sound? What's going on this time? That sound. A gunshot. Clement has rung the bell. Now I should prepare my final. Who's there? Fortuna, my child, is that you? Punctual as ever. Please take a seat until the others arrive. I still need to finish a few things. Fortuna? What's the meaning of this? Avis Stefano. Help me. The blood-stained girl stumbles towards the stunned old man, one step at a time. The dim light finally illuminates the girl's face, revealing spotty traces of blood, as well as black horns protruding from her forehead. In front of her stands a statue of a gun-toting saint bathed in light, but behind her lies a trail of blood that cannot be erased. Sankta blood drips onto the chapel's floorboards, giving off a dull sound. It is a deafening sound, one that opens all eyes wide. The patron firearm used for prayer finally slips from the hands that were clutching it tightly. Fina, she... Don't cry, sweet child. What happened to Delphina? She's hurt. It was me. I heard her. Ava Stefano, please save her. Father, are you all right? What happened? Fortuna, what are you doing here? Is that blood all over you? What happened here? Huh? That's... Whoa! Is this for real? This ain't funny anymore. You people again. What the hell is going on here? Why has Fortuna grown a pair of black horns? The Executor steps into the chapel under the watchful eyes of others. The fallen angel continues to weep, but Stefano has no choice but to turn his eyes to the visitor. The response from her halo is showing fluctuations, and horns are growing from her head. This is a clear indication that she has fallen. She has broken the commandments.
A battle without an explosion or cheering makes me feel a little uneasy. Let's head back. A drink?
All right.
Maybe next time.
We've got enough. Data update. Oh,
Yeah,
wait a
that's
second. It's a new day. Technically, for as long as I've played in and out. technically we've got enough here. We can go get what we need. So let's go ahead and pick this up for starters. And then let's go into our squads. Let's go into Vishadel. Let's see, do we have the stuff to promote her? We don't have enough cash. Or are we on cash? We are low on cash, so we need to get some cash before I can do that. So I think that's just something I will work on here, is earning a little bit of money so that I can E2 her. But I'm going to wrap it up here for now. All right, guys, so that is it for this one. A very interesting start to the story. And I know this one's a little bit, I don't want to say a little bit shorter of an episode that we're doing here, because we did the initial story bit, we did the first tutorial, and we did the first 2 stages there, HE-1 and -2. So we did 4 parts altogether. But very, very interesting start. The missing Sankta, who was there from Laterano to investigate, to now we know that they were there to retake the monastery between whoever that is and Lemuin, so Oren and Lemuin. And now we've got the issue with Laterano not wanting to accept the Sarkaz, part of their commandments, their creeds, all that stuff. They don't want to accept the Sarkaz. They can't be part of Laterano, so it's only the Sankta and the like people that can come. It's weird. It is very strange, but now we also have the issue with these others. We have the separation and the troubles obviously plaguing everybody at the monastery. And you've got like Fortuna now. Okay, obviously an issue went down. Now she's a fallen Sankta. She's growing horns. She's exhibiting similar signs to Mastimo. And we've got Federico, Spuria, and I forget the other guy's name. Rochelle is his real name, but I forget his like code name. But they're investigating it now. They are investigating whatever's going on at the monastery. And, well, they've made contact with Lemuin, but she doesn't want to go back. And they're starting to see various other things going on with this place that just nothing's adding up. Nothing is adding up. One step at a time. They're trying to step forward, but nothing is adding up. So we'll have to see how everything goes from here on. And I have a feeling it's only just going to continue to ramp up. Like, we just hit the first pivot point for the action and for the story to really kick off. So we'll see what's going on. But there's obviously some other stuff that's strange about it because of the fact that, like, they've mentioned that something just doesn't feel right. And now, too, that Avita or Mina or Nina or whatever, she was acting strange. Her whole demeanor was odd. Now, what could be causing that? Is that something just something with the monastery itself, or with the Reverend, or I do know that at some point that Clement is involved with things, so there's something with him going on. Or is it Artoria? Is she having an effect? Because we all know what her arts do from Zwillingstern and whatnot. Now, granted, this takes place before that, but it's just the fact that, like, I know her from Zwillingstern. This is my first time experiencing this Artoria before getting to Latanian. So could she be causing issues and manipulating something here? There's also obviously that other Reverend that she kind of had a spat with there, and we saw his silhouette down in the basement with whatever that creature was, that person creature thing that was eating something, and he was talking to it. There's something strange going on there. So there's a lot of ends in all different directions right now. And I think we're going to start to slowly see it all pull together until we hit that climactic point near the end of the story. And I'm anxious to get there. But for now, we're wrapping it up here. That is it for this one, guys. I appreciate you all so much for watching. Thank you for taking the time to hang out here on my channel and to watch this. You guys are awesome. One thing just to mention real quick, I do apologize for my yawning and stuff because I did record this late at night and I made a couple of cuts here because I had a couple of spurts where I needed to do stuff in between. So I made some stoppages, came back, did some stuff in between, came back from. So yeah, I apologize for that, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it and we'll do better with the next episodes. But for now, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel to help me grow and bring you more cool Arknights content. And with that being said, that is it for this one, and I will see you guys next time.